Hello, and welcome to How to Create a Recorded PowerPoint. This is hosted by the SLIS Library at UW-Madison, and I am Chloe Prosser, and I'll be walking you through today. If you have any questions as I go along, please feel free to email me at this email address. Otherwise, I'll have another couple ways of contacting me at the end that you can also use. So, today we're going to be talking about how to make recorded PowerPoints. I'll go over how to record the process and use PowerPoint as a tool. I'll go over how to review the narrations that you create, and then I will also go over how to save it in video format that you will be able to use and share with your professor to turn your project in. So, without further ado, we have to make the slideshow first, just like any other presentation you give. You'll make the slideshow, you'll make a script, or at least I really recommend making a script, and then you'll do the voiceover afterwards. And so once you have your slideshow set, feel free, you will then record your voice over it. To record your voice over a slide, you can go up here and there are two options. You can either start recording from beginning or you can start recording from current slide. So in PowerPoint it records it slide by slide. So you can either do it as a one take essentially and go between slides, but you can also edit slide for slide, and you can, if you don't like the way that you talked about one slide, you can go back and redo that particular slide without editing any of the other material that you've already created. I'm going to start recording from the current slide just so that you get a sense and can still see these instructions on it. So, yep, we want to include everything, especially make sure that narrations is checked because that's what we're actually trying to record. So we'll start recording, and it doesn't give you a countdown, it just goes. So here we are recording this slide. You'll note that there are a couple different buttons up here next to the count for how long the slide's been going. There's a next button which will take you to the next slide. I recommend using this to go between slides rather than using the arrow keys as you are normally accustomed. Then there's also a pause recording button, so if you need to stop recording for any reason, it pauses the recording process, the clock is stopped, and then you can resume and it will continue on just as normal. If you don't like how a slide is going, there's this repeat button, and that essentially restarts that particular slide and only that particular slide. So we will go and click that. It gives you a second to think about what you're going to say, or get your script, or go back to whatever page you need to go back to, and then you can resume recording and it just starts over. So that's the essential tools. There's also some extra additional tools. If you are the kind of person that likes to point things out with your fingers or with a pointer, it won't actually record where your mouse is on the screen unless you have a laser pointer or a highlighter or the pen tool, any one of those that can highlight where you are on the page. There we go. Alright, and then you can also turn that off by clicking it again. So that is how to do that. You can also draw using the pen tool. And then if you need to save those drawings, you can as well. So let's go on to the next slide, and I just want to demo that. So it kept all of the time that we spent on that previous slide, and now it's adding on to the new slide that we're starting. We'll get to this content in a little bit, but I just wanted to demo that transition. And so, once you're satisfied with either the slide that you're on, or you're satisfied with the presentation as a whole, or what you just said, you can go down to End Show. So just right-click anywhere on the screen, and then End Show. And now, we have a recording for these particular slides. We haven't recorded these yet, and there's no speaker in the corner indicating that you have recorded narrations on it. In this case, if we wanted to review the narrations for this slide, we would go down to the speaker and we'd press play. And you can listen to the sound of your own voice talking about whatever you were talking about on that slide. If you don't like what you said or you want to redo it, you can just go back up to Record Slideshow, start recording from current slide, and that'll wipe any sound recordings that you had on that slide already. And then you'll just want to make sure that you end the show after you finish only that slide, so don't transition to another slide. So, next we're going to want to review other parts of it. So say we want to review it all from the beginning, everything. So we'll go up to just still under slideshow, from beginning, and it's going through. We haven't set the timings for these particular slides, so I'm using the arrow keys to navigate between them as I would for a normal slideshow. But once we get to a page where we do have the narration, and that's how it works. So, and I just pressed escape to close out of that. So you can review everything that you've already said in your video if you go to the from beginning. Otherwise, again, if you just want to review that particular slide, you can go down and play the narration with the speaker icon. Now, so we've gone over how to do the recordings, and we've also gone over how to review what you've already done and make sure that you're happy with it. Once you are happy with it, you're going to need to save your video. So to do that, we're going to go up to File, as if we're going to save it. But instead of going to Save or Save As, we're going to go down to Export. And within Export, there's this Create a Video option. We'll click that. You can select the quality that you'd like. I'm going to go with low quality for now, because this isn't a particularly important thing for me and I want to be able to send it out. So, and you want to make sure that you are using recorded timings and narrations. That's going to be a particularly important bit. This is inconsequential since we will have set the timings for each slide by recording them. And then you'll just click Recreate Video, and you can save it with whatever name makes sense. And I'm gonna save it into the desktop. Great. And I've saved it, and you'll see down here it's thinking about it. So once that bar fills up, then I'll show you how to get to the video that we just created. While that's loading, I'm going to talk about other things you want to be thinking about while you're recording. So one thing that you might have already noticed if you've had a lot of recorded lectures so far in the program is that sometimes professors' voices will go in and out. This particularly happens when they're using an internal microphone to the computer and they lean out or they lean in, making it a lot louder, a lot softer, and making it really difficult or way too loud to hear. So one thing that you're going to want to make sure you have is some sort of microphone that you can maintain an equal distance from. If that's you holding something, if that's you sitting in front of the computer and not moving, or if that's you using a headset with a microphone attached, it doesn't matter. But you're going to want to make sure that you're not moving in and out too far and you're maintaining an equal distance from your microphone so that that's not a distracting feature of your presentation. Along those lines, I recommend doing all of your recording at once. Your voice will change over the course of the day, over the course of a week, whether you get sick or not, and that changes in your voice can be really distracting. And so if you do all your recording at once, that ensures that your voice will sound the same and that it won't distract from the presentation that you're trying to give. And then I know I've said it once before, but I'm going to say it again. Make sure that you have a script going in. It will keep the babble down, and it will make it a lot more streamlined as you go. So, before I end the video, I just want to show you, now that our video has downloaded, what that looks like. So, this is the one that I just did. I'm going to open it up. And you'll note that it's playing in Windows Media Player. And so you don't have to have PowerPoint to view this. If we go down and skip to one of the slides that we do have recorded, that's what the pointer looks like, and that's what your voice will sound like. And so you can doubly make sure and check that your video is as you would like it before you send it out. But this is a very shareable format, and your professor or whoever you send it to should be able to view it without any special technology beyond some sort of thing that can play a video, which most computers have built in. So, I just wanted to show you that. I'll close out of that and go back to here. If you have any questions, the Microsoft Office support pages online, and which I'm going to attach in the email with this video to you, are exceptionally useful, and they're very clear and easy to follow. So I recommend, if you get stuck, refer to those. They should get you through whatever you need. But if you're having other problems, or you want to troubleshoot verbally, or you just want someone else to look at it, please feel free to contact either me again at my email in the first slide, or the SLIS library at slislib@library.wisc.edu. We would be more than happy to work with you over Skype or over email in any way that makes sense for troubleshooting whatever difficulties you're having. So, that's all for today. Good luck with your projects, and have a good semester.